Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Please, if you haven't before, hit the subscribe button, get ready to leave a comment, tell me what you think of the video. I like getting my feedback, so I take it if it's good or bad, so just let me know. Anyway, today's video, I'm revisiting Aragorn the Uniter. A while back, I went through Aragorn, there's a link down below, and I did it from the point of having the whole of the Fellowship, plus some other good characters from Lord of the Rings in it. Deck worked reasonably well. It was quite good fun to play. People getting quite amused by the fact that I was playing kind of a theme deck for Lord of the Rings. And I enjoyed it. However, I still didn't think that was the way Aragorn should be built. I love playing it, don't get me wrong. I've still got it here on MTGO. It'll still turn up on the stream occasionally. But I really want to look at Aragorn from a, let's look at it if this was not a Lord of the Rings character and was purely a magic card from a different era. So that's what I've done. Just in case you can't remember what Aragorn says, I'll just bring him up right now. We've got red, green, white and blue for a 5/5 legendary creature human noble. And whenever you cast a white spell, you get a 1/1 human soldier. A blue spell gives you a scry 2. A red spell gets you to lightning bolt an opponent only. And a green spell gets to pump one of your creatures by 4 mana, 4 power and toughness until the end of turn. He's quite good. And realistically, yes, the Fellowship deck I built with him was fun, but this deck I think is better. The mana base is very similar to what we had before. The only difference is this time I've gone more down the shock lands, check lands, and the other ones from Battle Bond and Commander Legends, and along with 3 of each of the basics in the main deck. We've got the usual selection of mana ramp artifacts. So we've got Mox Tantalite, Soul Talisman, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, and then I've also included Thought Vessel, Skyclave Relic, because it obviously gives us coloured mana when we make them indestructible, and Chromatic Lanterns also here, just to make sure that every land we can control taps for any mana we need. But beyond that, I've really tried to go down a multicolour theme to try and abuse Aragorn as much as possible. So there's a few single colour ones in here, which are mainly in the first few drops, and everything else tends to be multicoloured after that. So Wizard classes here, just to make sure we haven't got to worry about our hand size, because I'm not playing Reliquary Tower and I'm not playing Temple of the False Gods for a change, because I didn't really want them. I was going down that let's get coloured mana in play. Lightning Bolt, because with Aragorn on the board, that's 6 damage to an opponent, or 3 to one of their creatures and 3 to them. Birds of Paradise, Honoured Hierarch and Noble Hierarch all help with the ramp side of things. And so does Sky Shroud Ranger once we can get it in play. Once the Summoning 6 is gone, it gives us a way of dropping an additional land each turn that we need, so we can get here to 4 even quicker, because getting Aragorn quick is going to be key. To help that, we've obviously got Dockside. There's red in the deck. Dockside's going to be here, I'm afraid. Lightning Strike does another whole of the 6 damage somewhere. Farseek, Lotus Cobra and 3 visits all help us ramp up. Obviously Lotus Cobra's on landfall, but Farseek 3 visits go and fetch us out the lands we might need, especially when we've got the dual lands in play, like Jetmir's Gardens here, Ketri, Triome, and Farseek goes and gets us whatever we want. That's any colour we want, basically, because of the tri-lands. Lotus Cobra obviously needs to be in play to give us the extra land. And then we've got Sylvan Carotid as well, just so we can have some, hex-proofed mana ramp. Once upon a time, here, I'm playing it because I haven't played it much recently. I still think it's a good card. And in this deck, it is key that we're getting those 4 different colours as soon as possible. So if we can cast this for 0 or even for 2 at the end of our, end of the turn before our turn starts, it works for me doing it that way. Then we go into kind of the multicolour stuff, so we can actually abuse these. Don't forget, a white and a blue spell gives you a human and a scry. So we'll help people out with Quain, the itinerant meddler. And then we've got monk class to help ourselves out, because we want to be casting more than 1 spell a turn, and the second spell we cast each turn costs 1 less. Yes, we could level it up. Probably not overly necessary in this deck, but if we get to level 3, it's not bad, just so we can exile the card and play it whenever we can. Arcane Infusion helps us look at the top 4 cards of our library. Does the Scry and the Lightning Bolt side of things. Balmor Battle Mage, whenever we cast instants of sorceries, pumps our team up and gives them trample, which is very good in this deck. We haven't got many creatures in here. We've only got 16, including Aragorn. But pumping our creatures up because we've got some token generators that should help us get there quicker. So expressive iteration, we know what this does. It got banned in standard a while back, so I'm sure everyone's fed up playing against it. Improbable alliance is also here. Draw our second card each turn, we get to do a fairy token, but at the end of the day, if we need to sink mana into it to draw and discard, we can do that. Sorcerer class, draw 2, discard 2, and then creatures you control can add blue or red to get cast our instants and sorceries that we've got coming up. Third path icon class gives us those nice colourless soldier artifact creature tokens whenever we cast a non-creature spell, and there's a lot of them. There's 46 in the deck, so we should get a few tokens off this if we can keep it in play. Lightning Helix, gain some life, get a soldier, do 6 damage, makes sense to me. Thasios, Triton Hero, it gives us a +4/+4 and a scry, but you know, the 4 mana scry, and if it's a land we get to put it in play, seems like a good plan. We've also got the boots in here. I've only gone with Swiftfoot boots to protect Aragorn or one of the other creatures. 9 times out of 10, I'll be honest, if I've got Swiftfoot boots in play and I have this creature in play, it's going on the Monastery Mentor to protect the Mentor so we get the monks, because that's what we really need to do, generate tokens to win. Kodoma's Reach gets us there with the basic lands, hence why we've got 3 of each. Flame of Anor does a nice thing if we've got a wizard in play. I don't think we actually got any wizards in deck if I remember correctly. Oh yeah, Cairn's in. Yeah. The rabbit's a wizard. If we get the both in play, but it's draw 2, destroy a target artifact, shoot something for 5, fine by me. Cabaretti Charm, here come all the charms. This one gives us a couple of sisters and tokens, or some damage. Yeah, don't forget it's 3 mana, red, green and white. So playing this with Aragorn in play does 3 damage, something gets +4/+4 and we get a 1/1. Bear that in mind with all the charms, I'm not going to go through it. Naya Charm just deals 3 damage, or return a card from a graveyard to its owner's hand, or tap all creatures on a player controls, gives us an alpha strike. Rith Charm does the destroy target on basic lands, some saplings, or prevent all damage. Bant Charm, destroy target artifact, counter target instant spell, put a creature on the bottom of his library. Broker's Charm, target creature you control gets +1 until the end of turn. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. You get a fight, destroy an enchantment or draw some cards. Trevar's Charm, destroy target enchantment, exile target attacking creature, draw and discard. Timur gives us a +1/+1 to a creature and it fights, counter target spell, or creatures with power of 3 or less can't block this turn. And then Jessicai's Charm, 4 damage to a creature, put something on top of its owner's library, or creatures we control get +1/+1 and lifelink. Lot of charms in this deck because they trigger 3 of these abilities and they're really good. I've gone through them really quickly there. You can go back and look them up, but it's worth playing the charms, I think, just to make sure Aragorn's abused. Big score, just so we get some card draw and some treasure, we run out of stuff. Heroic Reinforcements gives us a way to pump all our tokens as we hit things. War Leader's Helix, creature, 7 damage, and we gain 4 life. Outlaw's Merriment. Yeah, okay, it does the damage and the creature, but this gives us a random creature each turn. I quite like it. It's a bit of fun in this deck. Unexpected Results. Hopefully we'll hit a land and we get it back in our hand each turn. If not, it goes into our graveyard. And Whirlwind of Thought. So many non-creature spells, we might as well have this way of drawing cards as quickly as possible as we're casting stuff. To help us cast stuff during our opponent's turn, where we've got all these lovely instants, Seedborn Muse makes an appearance in this deck as one of the few monocolor creatures in the deck. Untapping everything each upkeep is amazing with this deck, especially if we've got Whirlwind of Thought in play and a couple of instants. We keep going. Migratory Route is here just for some land cycling if we need it, but at the end of the day, if we need to make 4 birds, we can do, but it's 5 mana, sorry, blue and white, so scry and a human. Whirlwind of Thought I've mentioned, sorry, Prophetic Bolt, I've done the 4s, my bad. Prophetic Bolt, 4 damage to any target, so 7 if Aragorn's in play, plus a double scry, and then we get to look at the top 4 cards of our library, put one of those cards in hand, the rest on the bottom of the library in any order. So we could scry away 2 hopeless cards and go for 2 absolute 4 draws that we haven't seen, or we can put the card we want on top, draw that plus the other 3 cards as a result of the scry, because this is on cast, not resolve. And then we get to get the card we really need. Anyway, Emergency Power shuffles everything back in. I've decided to go with this instead of Elixir of Immortality for a change. A Vikir Enigma Goliath is another way of getting us a whole load of tokens, and these ones are nice because you get a whole load of goblin tokens, they gain haste, and you get X, where X is the spell value you've just cast. Genesis Ultimatum gives us 5 cards. Inspired Ultimatum does the whole lot of damage, and life gain and card draw and all the other stuff from over yonder over here. So, yeah, not too bad. And then we've got a couple of hits I'm hoping for. We've got one with the multiverse, just so we can cast things off top of our library for free. And I'm really hoping that we can do Omniscience with it, because then this deck just ticks and it goes off chronically quick. Magnum Opus just gives us some ways of either creating a treasure token if we need to discard it, or a whole load of fun if we can cast it. And Maelstrom Wanderer. Yeah, a little bit of Cascade fun and games at the end here. Zakama Primal Calamity is in because it untaps our lands when we cast it. So, you know, we can float a whole load of mana, because hopefully we'll have kicked the Skyclave Relic at some stage, floated all the mana to cast, used all the artifact mana to cast this, and then have all our mana from our lands floating, and so we get a whole load of stuff floating when we untap everything this hits play. March of the Multitudes is just here to give us some real blockers if we need them, and gain some life, because all the tokens come with lifelink. Omniscience I've mentioned with one with the multiverse. And finally, Commit to Memory. I still like this card. This is another way of shuffling everything back into our library from our graveyard. But that's it. This is the version of Aragorn I'm going to be playing for a while now. It is completely different to the one down below. Obviously, go and watch that video as well if you haven't seen it before. But I think this one's going to be a bit more competitive. So I'll be trying that on stream as soon as possible. Obviously, as you know from yesterday's video, I'm on holiday at the moment, so no streams this week or next week. They'll be back soon. But I'm hoping this deck will be still viable when I get back from holiday. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and hopefully you'll watch the next video soon. Take care. I'll catch you later. Bye.